that has to do more than bring beauty to the table. I removed the function out of the sculptures to focus on its actual function, and that is to strike conversations and make you rethink about how you perceive subjects like beauty, impermanence. And I feel like on the surface, it might seem like they're very simple questions, but they dictate how you walk around in the life, how you talk to people. For me, the objective is to have these conversations, and the sculptures are just the medium to initiate that conversation. My name is Pooja. I'm an artist and a sculptor. I grew up in a multi-generation family. Grandparents were the ones who raised us because my parents used to work long hours. And my granddad, he was a trained carpenter but an artist at heart. And I feel like he heavily influenced my thought process and what I create. When I was a weird odd kid, I knew that he was doing his own thing. And I feel like that kind of stayed with me, the curious aspect, the aspect of questioning things and questioning status quo. And I feel like that has kind of brought me to where I am right now. My grandfather always said that with wood, it has to be a collaboration. Every piece of wood is different. So you shouldn't be approaching it as a material, but more like a collaborator. And I feel like the kind of stories that I want to tell through my pieces, wood is a good material for that, because my stories are about humans and about self-love and self-acceptance. And I feel like wood is a good stand-in for that. It's kind of like us, it grows, it moves, it rots, it changes in color and shape, texture. And even after the piece is ready, it still keeps evolving. It will still crack and change and look different. When I start creating, I start with sketching. I just use sketches as the backbone, and I let my collaboration with wood dictate what form it would take. So for me, the whole process is very organic. I don't like to rush it. One of the things that I really like about my creative process, it's slow and it allows for change. It's a very sensory experience. My favorite part is going from freshly carved piece of wood that has really raw edges, and then I'm sanding it. And I just use my hand as a guide to see how much more sanding is required. And that's what I really like about creating it. You're almost reconnecting with the material and in a way reconnecting with yourself. And it teaches you what you like, what you don't like. And a lot of times I start sketching and then the collection comes to me. And once the collection is there, I'll go back to the sketchboard and keep tweaking it. You have to allow yourself to really embrace what you're feeling. We have constantly been told that push your feelings away. If you're feeling sad, you shouldn't express it. But sometimes letting it out is good. In 2020, I created this collection called Your Scars Are Beautiful. And the collection talked about physical beauty and how we have different standards of physical beauty for men and for women, And I wanted to have this conversation about embracing different kinds of beauties. And for that, I used woods like Spalted Beach, woods that have character. The idea was, if the woods that have so many shades on it, so many textures, that have gone through weird things, that have weird scars, can create beautiful sculptures. You, as an individual that has scars and marks, physical or emotional, can bring beauty to the world. And then this one client reached out to me and she's like, I had breast cancer, and to get away from that, we had to get rid of one of my breasts. So she's like, I was in a dark place after that. It took me some time to get out of it, but now I'm out of it, and I want to celebrate the fact that losing a part meant getting life. So we had a conversation around what we wanted to use, and we decided to use this block of yew wood that had a piece, a big chunk of it missing, which kind of symbolized that loss of an organ. We created a beautiful bowl, and it sits on her entry foyer. And she's like, every time anybody asks me about it, I tell them about my journey. And yeah, it's just a way of embracing that loss. And I really like that. That is one of the reasons why I create what I create, like things for myself. It brings me joy, brings me happiness, it keeps me going. But seeing that resonate with others is a way of contentment, but also a way of being seen. Like, my struggles are your struggles. I create the pieces, but the pieces have actually created me. These collections have shaped me and my relationships with people. I feel like I love my company now, and I can bring something interesting to the table. I want them to live in spaces where young women, young kids can go and start this conversation about what is beauty.